Yo, what's up, nerds? And today I'm gonna be talking about this, little interesting thing I was thinking about. So, what if you could only make Commander decks with one artist? Who would the best artist be? Um, so I was thinking about that. And I'm gonna show you a couple of the things I've come up with. So first up, Mark Teeden, has this beautifully illustrated Mimeoplasm, which would be a great commander. He's also illustrated Karn, Priest of Yawgmoth. Eater of Days is a good way to pump up the Mimeoplasm. Some of these cards have really good abilities. Some of them would actually just be very good for pumping up the Mimeoplasm. Mana Crypt and Mana Vault are good additions. Along with Soul Ring, Temple Bell is draw. You have Disc to wipe the board. Mana Drain, Imperial Seal, Ponder, Time Twister, Necropotence, No Mercy, City of Brass. Overall, he's illustrated a lot of strong cards. However, I don't think he actually has enough to fill out a three-colored deck. So that, I'm going to say, probably off the table. Next up, Ken Walker. So he illustrated this Atraxa, which is very cool. So it give us planeswalkers like Tezzeret and Vivian, a couple mana dorks. He actually illustrated a lot of the mirrors. So you're gonna have mirrors. You have Mycologist, who can be proliferated by Atraxa. He's got some +1/+1 counter stuff. He's illustrated a lot of strong cards. I wouldn't say as many as Celeste, but I mean, surely he could win a game. You can win with Darksteel Reactor. Slaughter Pact is removal. Eladamri's Call is a tutor. You have more removal, counter spells, Damnation, and Day of Judgment, so you can board wipe. Overall, he's done some strong cards. However, I don't think there would be enough to make the deck very functional. If you can see, there's a lot of strong cards here, but not a lot of synergy. But then again, slapping Atraxa at the top of any deck makes it pretty good. So, who am I to judge? Atraxa is just very, very powerful. So next up is Richard Kane Ferguson. So, not a very I never really heard his name until making up this video. But he's illustrated a lot of strong cards. So we have Dakon for the commander. Gives 3 colors. Grand Abolisher. Elandra the Dusk Rose. You can get the Black Blade. Enlightened Tutor. Mystical Tutor. Vampiric Tutor. Arcane Denial. Disenchant. Dissipate. Factor Fiction. Force of Will. Profane Tutor. Flux. Toxic Deluge. Field of Souls. He's got a lot of strong cards. However, he hasn't done enough illustrating to fully fill out a deck that's 3 colors. But there's a lot of powerhouses there, so you could theoretically just put in 75 more basic lands. Next up is Ron Spencer, illustrator of Sliver Queen. Unfortunately, he's only done 2 other slivers. I think he did one with flanking, and that one's just bad. So Sky Shroud Poacher, I think, would be really good, but he hasn't actually illustrated any elves. But we do have Mana Crypt, Pithing Needle, Crucible of Worlds, and Staring Bridge, Brainstorm, Entomb, Terror's removal, Deadly Rollick is removal, Firebolt's removal, Kodama's Reach is ramp, Yawgmoth's Will might make it good enough just by itself, Damnation and Wrath of God again, Rout. So the deck would have a little bit of everything. He does have Doubling Season, which actually does work really well with Sliver Queen. No Mercy again, Mana Reflection, Rage Reflection, Wound Reflection, and he's done a couple lands, but there isn't much as far as color fixing, and it doesn't quite work. Next up is Greg Staples, who I think might have one of the best chances here. Pure the Volatile would be the commander. Gives you Leonin Relic Warder for removal. And he has a couple good creatures. He has a little bit of soldiers. He has some soldier support coming up. Yawgmoth can benefit with the soldier tokens. And then he has some strong cards like Aether Vial, Sensei's Divining Top, Gut Shot, Needle Drop, Deflecting Swat, Teferi's Protection, Living End, Demon Fire, Hymn to Turok, Martial Coup, Corpse Explosion, which I think is really underrated. It's a pretty good board wipe. Stone Rain. Diabolic Tutor is probably the worst tutor on the list, but overall, the whole deck is pretty. It works, I would say. I think he probably would have the best chance of just his own cards as a deck. And then last up for this list is Peter Vendors, who did Zur the Enchanter, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't say there's all that much here. There's strong cards like Urza's Incubator and Phyrexian Altar, but no real way to use them. Windfall's cool. Time Warp is strong. Phyrexian Arita, Smothering Tithe. It looks like there could be something here, but I don't think there's enough illustrated to really fill out the deck. So let me know, what artist do you think would be able to make a deck of just their cards? Personally, I really, really wish there were enough Junji Ito cards to make a deck out of, because I'm kind of a nerd. But, I doubt that'll ever happen. He's got, 5? 5. It would be really cool. So let me know, what do you think? What artist should have more cards? Etc.